Hello, everyone. You're all very welcome to Underground Cinema. We're halfway through interviewing as many nominees as we possibly can before the 16th Underground Cinema Film Awards. I feel like I'm going for a world record on interviews. I'm doing them every single day at the moment, but I'm enjoying every single minute of it. I'm delighted to say now that I have with me today the uh, the cast. Well, one member of the cast, Tony's with us there today. You got Stephen McKenna and we've got Yarrow Waldeck, who have done this super fantastic feature film called Dreamtown, which has been nominated for 6 awards at the Underground Cinema Awards in Dunleary. That's absolutely fantastic. You must be delighted, Stephen.
It's great, yeah. It's amazing. It's great to see all the cast and crew kind of get recognized for the work that they've done for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been nominated for best feature film. It's been
Yeah,
nominated for best actor. Tony's there. It's been Yarrow's also received a nomination for wonderful cinematography, and you've also got the guys with a best actor, best supporting actor, and the best supporting actress. Michelle and Keane are also nominated. That's great because there's a lot of acting awards in there as well on top of your technical awards. Also, it's nominated for best cast ensemble. So they're
mm.
really cool awards to be nominated for, I think. Um, but for those that haven't seen Dreamtown, and this is a very fun story, Stephen. For those who haven't seen Dreamtown, can you tell everybody what the story is all about?
Yeah. So at its core, it's basically a father son story. It's about a man named Mickey Richards who he kind of still thinks that he's in the music industry. He still thinks that he's a big time, but he's just hanging out in bars with kids. And he has a son who's a lot more successful than him in the music industry. So there's a bit of kind of conflict there. But really, it's about a father son story and about kind of hope, maybe after your dreams have failed.
Yeah. Now, Tony, I didn't realize you hang around in bars with kids, but I know what
What he's
Stephen's
talking
talking
about,
about.
Dave.
Younger people, then. Younger
Yeah.
people.
Totally
Listen,
different film. I'm
I
in a different
um
film here, Dave.
um at Underground Cinema when we first started working 16 years ago, we were a live event down in Dunleary, and back in the day they were all short films, so we
Yeah,
didn't really get too many feature films coming into us. So it was actually Charlie Casanova was the very first feature film that we screened. That's 15 years ago, Tony.
yeah,
Tony, you
yeah.
were
It's
in
mad.
as well. Yeah, and it picked up the best feature film award with Underground Cinema. And over the past couple of years, we've seen people going from shorts into feature films, and now we get an awful lot of features coming into us. I've also seen Tony. You and I are great mates. We go back a long time, so
Yeah,
I've
long, long
watched you.
time.
Yeah, yeah, and I've watched you progress as an actor over the years. You've also picked up the best award. You picked up the best actor award with us in Dunleary a couple of years
Right, yeah.
back. But when I watched
Poppy.
this Dreamtown, I said to myself, this is the part that Tony Murphy was born to play. And I said it in Delirium as well. Can you tell me when you got the script? You must have looked at that script and said, oh, this is great. I can't
Well,
wait
like
to get my
we
teeth.
it was more about like the introduction with Steve. In fairness, I had already met
Yeah,
Yarrow before on another film set, and we got on really, really well. And then I was introduced to Steve through a mutual friend, Luke, who plays the bouncer in Luke Corcoran. And I think the minute I met Steve, I knew instantaneously like that this is a good guy here, and we can work together. But then he talked about the character and the script idea, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, I want to get involved on this one. And so even before I read the script, I knew that this was going to be good. Like I just knew, had a really good feeling about working with Steve. And then when I knew Yara was going to get involved, then I was getting really excited about the project because they're two really talented people, and I'm very lucky and blessed to have worked with both of them. You know.
absolutely, Tony, because this character, he's a very layered character. It's a funny character, a tragic character. He's full of
Yeah.
charm, but he's also in denial as well, isn't he?
Yeah, completely. Like completely. I mean, it's true what Steve said. I don't like saying it, but it's true what Steve says that his dreams were lost, and he's like kind of living them vicariously through all these strange young kids, and they're not strange young kids, but he's not being real with anybody. He's just sort of I don't know. He's just lying to everybody about what he's achieved, who he knows, you know, what he's done, and how cool he is. And deep down, he knows really that he's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
it's very sad. Like it's very, very sad.
it is very sad, and the chemistry between both yourself and Keane is super on the screen. It comes across at times a very strained relationship, a loving relationship. There's a lot. There's a different generation. You know, there's an admiration mixed with pity as well
Yeah.
between the characters. He was just a fantastic actor on screen. How did you guys get on throughout the shoot?
We got on amazingly. He was like he's the same age as my own son, so
Right.
I got on really, really well with Keane. And I think when he rocked up for his audition, he was kind of dressed very similar to myself. It was very funny. I knew straight away kind of that Keane was the one to do it. To be honest with you, it was really down to Steve to make the choice. But in my heart, I felt that Keane was the right one. I just clicked with him straight away. He's a lovely guy, and also he works very hard. You know, he didn't leave anything. He didn't leave anything to chance. He got to know me. He made it his business to get to know me. He watched me. We did a lot of exercises where we were mirroring each other, and where he'd be walking around and we were trying to loosen ourselves up and stuff. So he threw himself into it 100%. He was amazing. It was a joy to work with him. He was brilliant, and he looks great too.
Yeah.
The swine.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. I mean, Yarrow, you did a fantastic job on the cinematography. I mean, the lighting in this is superb, and the music is also another. I think the music to this film is actually another character to the film. It's super, but it's shot incredibly well. It looks like an awful lot of thought has gone into the way this film should look.
Yeah.
Did you do a lot of collaboration, Stephen, between yourself and Yarrow before the film on the look and the style, the way you wanted this to look? I'm sure you did. It looks like a huge amount of thought went into it.
Yeah, we did a load of collaboration, didn't we, Yarrow? Like
Yes, we did.
It was a lot of prep. Yeah, lots of prep. So we would have done, you know, we would have gone through the scripts, done shot lists. We would have talked about color. We would have, we tried to do as much work prior to the shoot as possible, so that when we got on location, we weren't wasting time trying to figure anything out. We kind of knew, and we kind of committed to our decisions, and we were happy with them, and kind of said, no, we've committed to this. Let's do it. Like, if we want all this to look red, let's do that. We want all this to look blue. We follow that through, and we see that through. And that kind of became the visual language of the film. And it just made our job and Yarrow's job so much less. It was still stressful, but less stressful, because we did have a plan, and we were kind of prepared.
I think as a cinematographer, you can't go into a shoot without a plan. It's really essential, particularly on this one, because it was a 15 initially 15 days, and then 2 days
15 yeah.
extra afterwards. So when you're working on such a tight schedule, you can't wing it, you know. And when you're going for something this stylized as Dreamtown is, there really had to be a concrete plan for every location, every scene, every atmosphere. And one thing that we also did with Steve was watch a lot of movies that influence his visual language, and we kind of let ourselves be inspired by a lot of those, and created our own vision for this film.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. I know a lot about the background of this film, because when filmmakers send through the films, they also send through, you know, some notes, which I think is really important when you send a film submission through. There's nothing worse than sending something through on Film Freeway without any notes, without a proper synopsis on the film. And when you sent it through to me, you sent me, you know, your director's bio. You sent me a very good cover letter to this as well. So we was able to get a very good understanding about this film. So I'm going to tell you just when I was watching Yarrow's cinematography, I can remember going in the late 80s, early 90s to see Aslan play when they were playing in pubs. So in one particular pub is the Sally Noggin Inn. Aslan used to play a lot up there, and they were just amazing gigs. You know, it was that sort of pub vibe, and they I got flashbacks when I was watching the scenes earlier in the film in the bar. You know, when King's up singing of Aslan, some of the colors. I can remember Aslan using a lot of those sort of colors when they were up on stage as well. And yeah, it was like the audience were actually there in the gig. That's how I felt. I felt it was in the gig, and I think a lot also had to do with the sound as well. I have to give credit to the music and the sound design as well. And I told you this room is surround sound, so I felt I was actually in a gig. And when you were down in Dunleary at the festival in Dunleary, it was like being at a concert as well. Well done. You really pulled it off. Cinematography and sound design was fantastic.
Thanks so much. That's great to hear. That scene in particular with Keane on stage from a very early draft, very early draft. Like the draft changed throughout pre-production and stuff quite a lot, but from a very early draft, having that scene where he's on stage feel like you're at a concert, and it's, you know, it has this kind of epic quality to it, or like, whoa, it's like, oh, this is cool. And even the song being kind of catchy, you know, so that when Mickey Richards actually sees his son play, he's like, oh shit, I could never do that. Oh my, you know. And I think in that scene you could probably encapsulate the entire film into that one moment where Mickey Richards is looking at his son and he sees himself on stage. I think that is the film in 1 second, you know.
Exactly. It's such a brilliant opener, you know, to introduce that character so strongly as well.
Yeah.
I thought it was amazing. The other thing I thought, and there's so many great things about this film, was the costume design. All the costumes looked like they were picked out really, really well. Tony, your costume, the clothes that you. Did you have any input, Tony, on some of those clothes?
Yeah, we did.
They look great.
Look, Steve is great like that. I mean, the leather jacket, we picked it up in Dublin, you know, in Flips, around in that shop in there, the second-hand place, you know, Flips opposite the Central Bank.
Yeah.
So we went in there one day and we picked out my leather jacket, and like, I mean, that was all I had at the time. And we took a few shots of me walking around Dublin with the leather jacket on. Do you remember, Steve?
I do remember that. Yeah.
So I mean, everything was kind of built from the ground up, really, with the costumes. I mean, we had Ailish O'Neill was working with us on the costumes, and Jennifer Keane, and they were great. Like they came and they put the finishing touches for us and stuff. But generally, Steve allowed me to pick my costume a lot, and a lot of the stuff was my own. Like the boots were my own, the jeans were my own. They gave me the jacket, they got the shirt for me, they got the belts, and they got all that sort of stuff and all the rings. But yeah, it was a lot. It was lovely to build the character like that, and he was very layered, so the costume was very layered as well.
Yeah, everything, even down to the jewelry that you're wearing. You know, the necklace, the rings. It's all spot on.
That getting ready section was really cool as well to do. We had to edit a few bits out, but there was some nice bits in it, like in the getting ready scene, when he's going out and is putting on his gear, you know, to be Mickey Richards.
Yeah.
I just want to make a comment on that scene actually, because I think I showed Yarrow this. I think I did show you this. There's a filmmaker called Kenneth Anger. And he made these kind of very homoerotic movies, I think in the 70s in England, right? Of these like biker guys. And I remember watching one of these films, and it's just this guy sitting on his bed and he's having a cigarette and he's watching like motorbikes on the TV, and then he gets his leather jacket on and he gets his belt on. And it's really, it's quite sexy, right? Yeah. But it's definitely, it's like male gaze and men, right? And I just found you know, I want to do that, but for Mickey Richards, because he's so into the image and it's all about the look, you know, and being a rock star and stuff. And I think that was just a huge inspiration for that scene.
I think anybody that watches this is going to take have their own interpretation. I can tell you now, when I watched it as well, I thought there was a touch of Keith Richards there as well. You know, Uh, but then maybe that
No, I
might
can't
not
play
get
the
to the
guitar.
age.
That's funny.
You also your supporting cast right the way through it. Everyone plays it really, really well. You got to read, and I think that's the reason why you got the nod for best cast ensemble. Um, I've probably told you this before, but the panel of judges that we have are international. They're not Irish, which is great. So about 6 years ago, we decided this. We had an Irish panel. I was on it myself, and what was happening was we were getting too close to the actors. We were getting too close to the film crews. We were starting to know. We were getting to know everybody, and it was
Okay.
getting really difficult to start to make a call on who should be getting the award. You'd be getting a note saying, God, and Tony Murphy's a great friend of mine. We had a few drinks the other night, we have to give him a nod.
Is that not going to work this time? I gave you a tenner, Dave.
No. Brown envelopes back in the day used to work as well. But we made a very big decision to say, okay, we're going to take ourselves out of the equation altogether. And at that time, we'd been building up very strong relationships with some of our international filmmakers who've been sending films into us. So we started touching base with them and asking them would they go onto the panel. There's a lot of work because there's a lot of submissions coming through, but you have 9 months to watch all of these films. So we managed to put it through a really cool panel that are based in the UK, Germany, Australia, Vietnam, would you believe, Asia. So they watch all these films and they come back to me and tell me these are the films that we think should be nominated. If they don't, if they can't make a decision on it, then we'll step in and help them out. So I think it's great that it was a panel from around the world who have no idea really who all these independent filmmakers are and actors are in Ireland, and they gave these nominations based on the film's merit, and I think that's fantastic. I think it's a brilliant endorsement of your film. Well done.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
The challenges, and I'm sure you had some challenges. Like some of the locations are super. I mean, and I was wondering, God, how did they get? Because I know what it's like to shoot, say, in a pub. It's like, to take over a premises, for hours and hours, is difficult. You must have got a lot of help in this. Your production design team were very good. What were the challenges in trying to get some of those locations?
Oh, I think I remember freaking out with you, Yarrow. I think like a week before the shoot, we didn't have a bar.
Yeah,
We were
main
like,
bar.
what are we gonna do? And I went around to so many bars to try and find one and find one that was right, that actually fit the story. And basically it was thanks to Jen Keane, who happens to just through her experience and knew someone who gave us the pawn shop, and it was just being refurbished. So we had they were only open from Thursday to Sunday, and they said, I met the owner and he was like, yeah, absolutely, yeah, come on in, yeah, you can use it from Monday to Wednesday, just leave it how you found it. And I was like, right, but because the ceiling was glass, we had to shoot through the night because we couldn't black it out.
Yeah. And also, like, during the day, they did their reconstructions or remodeling, right?
Yes,
So kind of we
yeah.
had to load in at 7 in the evening and get out by like 5 or 6 a.m. And we had to take down the lights every night and then put them up again the following night. So it was a lot of kind of hustle, just setting it up.
Yeah.
But we made it work. Yeah, it was they let us use the whole place.
Yeah, I think even even with the the days that we had, which wasn't a lot, 17 days I think it was in total at the end.
In total, yeah.
Yeah, if to be honest with you, I still would have liked more, and I think everyone would have liked just a few days more, but we did manage to do it. And we had a really tight crew. Everyone was getting along really well on set, and that kind of made the whole thing just that much more pleasurable. Yarrow, you used a lot of your interns.
My students from Griffith College.
Sorry, your students who basically kind of intern on
Yes.
on the set,
Yeah.
and they were an immense help. I without them, the film wouldn't have been able.
They really
to
were.
be what it is, you know.
Yeah, it's
We
true.
put them in camera, in lighting, in production design, sound, so
Yeah.
really just they helped us out
That
a lot.
that's a great way for them to learn the craft, Euro. It's a great
Hmm.
idea to bring them along onto set and to help out. And
Hmm.
I'd certainly say they, as a young student, trying to break into the world of filmmaking, it's a great experience, a real learning curve as well. And it's guerrilla filmmaking as well, you know.
Hmm.
So it's a great introduction to the world of independent filmmaking. It's a great idea. They all did a great job. They all did a super job. You could sort of see it sometimes, when you're watching the film. You could sort of say to yourself, look, that team looked like they were working really well, not just the cast, but also the crew behind it. And I'm a great believer in surround yourself with really good people. At the end of the day, the
Mm.
production's going to be
Correct,
perfect.
yeah.
That's what's happened. That's what's happened
But I
here.
had I have to say, like, coming off that set, like, that was my first time doing a feature film, and it was extremely daunting. But I think on the third day of shoot, when all the casting crew were there, the first night in the bar, I had a mini freak out where I had to just go off and like, oh God. And then I kind of quickly realized, it's like, wait, hold on. You have to do this. Everyone's here. You have to get your head in the game. Like, right, okay. But honestly, and I think, a lot of most of the crew and cast kind of came up to me afterward being like, it was one of the most fun film shoots that they'd been on. There was no drama. There was it was really, really nice experience. And I remember coming home, I think it was about in the third week after one of the night shoots. And the night shoots are tough. Everyone's wrecked. Everyone, you get to about 5 a.m. and it's like, okay, no one wants to be here anymore. It is tough. And especially on an indie film, But I remember coming home after one of them night shoots and getting in the door, and I was like, I could do this for the rest of my life. And I think that is down to just how nice everybody was to each other and how well everyone got along. And it really was kind of, we're making movies, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a gift, to be able to be in that situation, to be able to do that. And the casting crew made that just possible, It was,
You wrote this, you directed it, you also produced it. When I produced a feature film as well, and I can remember my first feature film on set, and you see all these people, that like 20, 30 people. It can be overwhelming, to be honest with you. You're in complete control of this, and yeah, I understand where you're coming from, where you need a moment to yourself to say, can I pull this off? And then you just suck in a breath and you go out and just do it. And then,
Well-
as I said, when you surround yourself with good people, they'll make it easier for you, and you just become more relaxed. And as the days go by, it almost feels natural to you.
well, I have to say with Yarrow and Tony, both Yarrow and Tony, and I think they possibly felt that off me as well. But I felt that we all had each other's back.
Mhm.
Even though I was writing, directing, and producing it, Yarrow was also kind of, producing it a little bit. She was bringing in her team and everything. We had a great AD. He was scheduling it. So I was very happy to relinquish control on a lot of things. Tony helped him, he was there, from the very beginning. And we just felt like we really had each other's back. So if I was like freaking out, I'd be like, Tony, and he'd be like, Steve, you all right? He's like, yeah. And Tony'd be the same. It's like, Steve, and you need that. You need to have that kind of person there on a set like that, because it is tough, and you have to show up for everybody,
Yeah, well, we all had our own experiences of making films and stuff, and maybe I might have had a little bit more experience than Steve in a feature film sort of scenario. But it was like working with Stephen and with Yarrow, they were so approachable for everything. There was no kind of hierarchy feel to the film. It was very much, let's go, let's do this together. Oh shit, that's not working. Let's try something else. And it was all very much like, yeah, okay, that didn't work. Fair enough. Let's try something else. There was no ego involved in it, I don't think. And if you didn't get it right, Steve would be like, that's not right. I don't want it that way. I want it this way. And he'd be like, yeah, okay, let's try it that way. So, and then, oh yeah, that works. Okay, brilliant. Let's go. Let's move on. There was no hanging around either. I do want to mention Michelle as well, though. I know she got a nod as well, but she was brilliant. well, like, and just so easy to direct and so easy to work with. And in scenes, she brought her own element of talent to this as well. You know, she was so natural, and and she has her own background in production as well, and in ADing and stuff like that. So she was it just like felt like everybody was involved at every level almost. You know, there was no sort of things were crisscrossing across, sort of, which you would never see in another film, you know. And everyone was listened to, and everybody's opinions were taken on board, and it was done. It was very much like I've never experienced it in my life, Dave, on a film set. No.
But I also want to just add that for many of us, it was our first feature. And I felt like extra just grateful that I got to the point where I could make a feature, because I've been making shorts for a very long time. And as a cinematographer, you want that next step. So being asked to join this team, I really didn't treat it like, I didn't take it for granted. I wanted to do my best, and I wanted to make sure that people felt that they can trust me and that they want to spend these 17 days with me. So, and I felt that from everybody. Everybody really brought their A game, and it was just such a lovely experience. Yeah, there was
don't mean
magic.
to jump in on you here, Yarrow, but I was blown away by the fact that Yarrow was choosing our film to be her first feature film to DOP. It was like a complete honor, because like she's so talented, and there were lots of other people offering her first feature, and she decided that she wanted our film that she wanted to work on, which is like amazing. No, and really, I mean, I was so grateful and so excited that Yarrow was going to become our DOP on this film. It was another.
Thank you.
Thanks, Yarrow, by the way.
Thanks.
I've seen Yarrow's work over the years as well at Underground Cinema. There've been plenty of occasions where we've screened your work over the years. So when I saw your name pop up, I thought, you know, you're going to do an absolutely fantastic job on it as well. But what I also thought I think is great about, actually, just before I say it, just quickly back to Michelle. She thoroughly deserved her nod, because she's a very, very important character in the film to me. She's one of the few characters that really believes in Mickey. You know, she's vital for the storyline. She did a brilliant job on it.
She's amazing to work with.
Yeah, Michelle was great, and I remember when I first saw her in the audition room against Tony, because you know Tony's 6'4". He's quite, you know, he's quite imposing. He's a confident man. And him doing those, you know, those kind of flirtatious scenes. As soon as I saw Michelle do that with Tony, I was like, right, okay, she can handle him, and that, you know, she has this. She's an amazing actor. You know, she brings so much depth and authenticity and believability to the role, and it was very easy, I suppose, to make that character, you know, to make the dynamic between them, you know, flirty or like inappropriate. Whereas I think with Michelle, she adds a more nurturing layer to it, and kind of a more kind of,
say it, Steve.
You know, it's it's more friendly.
Yeah,
pity is the word I'd use.
It's not pity. No, it's not pity. It's not pity.
I'm joking.
She is great. She's an amazing actor. Yeah.
I love working with Michelle. You know, our scenes that I had with Michelle, I used to always look forward to doing them, because she's a real punk. You know, she's real sort of. You could throw anything at Michelle and she'll throw it right back at you. You know, I never feared like that whatever I threw at her, she wouldn't be able to catch and throw back. You know, I felt really comfortable working with Michelle. She was amazing. She's brilliant.
Did you guys, Tony? Did you guys rehearse? Did you rehearse this a lot beforehand?
Yeah. Oh, we had to, Dave, because we were on the fly, you know, and we're working on things.
Yeah.
The last thing you need to be worrying about is, do we know what we're going to do? So we rehearsed the shit out of it. Excuse my French, but we put a lot of time into it before we shot. Yeah. I think what do we have, 2 weeks, Steve?
It was 3. I think it was 3 in total. I always do rehearsal. I prioritize it. You know, it's very important to me, and it's important that we understand the text you know, it's important that the actors feel comfortable. It's important that the actors and myself as a director, we know we can rely on each other and we've got each other's back. I think I hang around the actors more than I do the crew. So
Right.
I love doing rehearsals because you get the actors to kind of bring themselves into it, you know, hear their decisions, hear, you know, what choices they might make. And I might learn something that, you know, I don't know about the film. Yeah, you know, even though I wrote it, it's great to discover these new opportunities and and I think in rehearsal is a really good time to do that. On set, you know, it can happen, but I'd rather not leave it to chance.
Yeah.
Because we're working
Yeah,
in
no,
such tight constraints that, yeah, magic can absolutely happen on set, but I think if you do rehearsal, you do the work, you're more free for that magic to happen because you're not worried about maybe getting it right, or
Yeah.
you know, is this the right
Dave,
intent, you know?
sorry, Stephen, but Dave, you know yourself as an actor. You know, you go on set a lot of the you go on set a lot of the time, and you've got your lines. You've made your kind of choices to a point in the audition, and then you might rock up if you're only a kind of if you're only kind of like in a smaller part in a film. You'll come along and you'll do your bit, and it might work or it mightn't work, and you might be happy with it or you mightn't be happy with it, but you're done. And I don't that's why I loved the rehearsal process, because we were able to get all of those kinks out of the character and get the best of it. And I loved working like that, Steve. It was brilliant to be able to rehearse and to get that sort of across so that you can give the best of your character, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a theatre actor. I've been in theatre for 25 years, so I've done a lot of rehearsals over the years, and I believe, you know, during rehearsal, that's probably one of the best times that you'll get something out of an actor, something the director probably may not have even seen in the script. A good theatre
Yeah.
actor, or a good actor in general, should be able to pull it out of the bag. Improvisation during rehearsals, is that
Yeah, of
allowed,
course.
or you just, because
Yeah, like
improvisation sometimes?
a lot of the time, I use the script as like a blueprint. So like I'd write the script and I'd be like, okay, right, and we test the scene how it is, right? We'd read it through. Okay, it's actually working. Sounds right. Sounds fluid. Then we play it out. But I would always allow the actors to improvise and to, you know, make stuff up or say, okay, drop the lines. Let's see what we can come out. And Tony was very good at that. And even on the day, like I think one of the dinner scene where he's having dinner with his son, the last take, because it was just one take, the last take, I said, okay, just forget the script and just mess around with it. And that was the take we ended up using. You can actually see in the scene, Cian is trying his hardest not to laugh. And I just thought that was really nice. So I was like, I'm leaving that in. It's just human, you know. So
yeah.
But the amount of time, I'm sorry, I just want to say
Yara,
the amount of time we were breaking laughing because Mickey is so ridiculous and Cian was trying not to laugh in the scene. It was such a hard time record audio without us laughing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yara, I was going to ask you, was this film storyboarded? Did you storyboard this film?
I think we maybe went through some like initial crucial scenes, didn't we? But no, we shortlisted.
It was it was more blocked. So there was blocking plans, but it wasn't necessarily shot. Like there was references from movies that I would have shown Yarrow and stuff. So okay, remember this scene? Oh yeah, okay. So, but it was mainly shot lists, and a lot of it was really location dependent.
Yeah.
So we knew, for example, it's like, okay, we want to do, you know, a close up here, or like a wide shot here. It didn't really matter you know, where the wide happened from. That would kind of be dependent on the location and what would make work and how we could best tell the story cinematically within the constraints of what we have to work with. So it wasn't, it wasn't really storyboarded, but it was shot list.
Yeah, very, very good. So the mammoth task is finished. You get the shoot over, and the next job is into post-production. And again, this looks like there's been a heavy amount of post-production done in this film. How long did you spend in the studio afterwards, Stephen? On the edit?
Oh man, I don't know. A couple of months, wasn't it? It was that like I remember getting a first cut relatively quick. I reckon for a film of that size. I think the first cut was 140 minutes, and I just put everything into it. You know, so so much was cut from that film. So much cinematic sequences and stuff that I really wanted to do, that took ages for us to do on set, all cut.
So, you,
Oh, God.
so,
I'm
so
still crying.
I know. Hey, same.
so wait, you're at 97 minutes here. Could we see a director's cut, Stephen?
Do you know what, Dave? To be honest with you, the film, if I'm being brutally honest, the film is actually stronger for it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it is. You know, it's not. I think if I was to put in all, there's only maybe one or two scenes that I would like to leave in just for myself. But
yeah.
it really actually the cut that it is now is stronger for the story. You know,
Who
it's Mickey's story, you know, and that had to take priority.
and who did the cut? Did you do the edit?
I did.
That's really difficult. Because
Yeah, no,
not
I
only
know. I probably wouldn't do that again now.
yeah,
I
because
get someone else to do it, but it's hard. Like, you know, it's independent. You know, there's only so much money. There's only so much budget, and
yeah,
you know, I think a lot of filmmakers and stuff are kind of editing their own work and stuff. But you know, with a feature film, I probably would have liked an editor just to see what they would have done. I just didn't have the budget to do
yeah.
that. So I said, right, I have to be ruthless. I have to do the best I can.
The,
You know.
the edit's great, but no qualms about the edit at all. But it's challenging when you're the writer, the director. You're very, very close, and this story is a very personal story as well. So it must be very, very difficult in the edit because you got so much brilliant footage. I'm sure you had hours of fantastic stuff, and to select the right stuff, you know, to finish up in the finished product when you're so close to it. It's really that's what I mean.
Yeah.
When it's very difficult. Yeah.
But it's even like you get to a point, you get so close to it that like you could miss like one frame or something, or you could be sitting there wrecking your head over that one frame. You know, it's like you start to kind of become desensitized to it and just be like, oh.
Yeah.
So you have to take a break and come back to it. So I think in future I probably wouldn't like to edit a feature film that I made. But no, like even when the cut was done, like we had the sound design done, the colorist, Martin Nee, you know, he did a great job with the color. Everyone I showed the trailer to, and you know, most people that see the film go, "Wow, it looks really good."
Yeah, that's interesting what you just said there because you know when you're in the edit of a feature film, you're spending months working on it, and it's a bit like an accountant dealing with with money. It's all just numbers. You're dealing with them. It's just numbers at the end of the day. And when you're working on a film like this, it's just trying to get the film together, and all of a sudden, you're just looking to get it right. It's only when you get into the cinema, which it was Galway the premiere, was it?
Yeah.
So it's only when you get into, was it the town hall?
Yeah,
Which is a fantastic place to premiere a film. You know, the atmosphere.
Great
It was great.
I remember our weekend down there for Charlie Casanova. Tony and still recovering after.
Yeah, I still have a hangover.
But it's only when you get in there and actually sit down and watch it with the audience who have never seen it before when you realize and you start feeling the audience and you start feeling, you can see the reactions from around you. You realize you've just created a piece of magic. The edit's very different. You're just surrounded by images coming in, sound problems. You know, you're tidying up things. All of a sudden, you're in a proper cinema surround sound with a big, huge audience. That must have been just an amazing feeling, guys, was it?
It was, yeah. It was.
Yeah.
And
What do you mean, yeah?
I was sweating.
You're probably nervous.
Very nervous.
You were nervous, yeah.
Yeah, but I felt that we had the audience was amazing. They were laughing in exactly where we needed them to or wanted them to. And just they gave us so many reactions, even to the sad bits. And they were very audible. Is that the word? And we had not seen the film that way before. So we really knew that it worked. It landed. And that was the best feeling.
It was lovely walking out of the cinema as well, Dave. We walked out, we got a round of applause, and it was lovely. It was just, you feel like, we've done something nice here. We've done something good, you know.
It seemed to kind of lift people's spirit, even though it's a tragic story, you know. And there's, you know, it's not exactly like a total happy ending, but I think it leaves you feeling kind of uplifted and
Hopeful.
A bit hopeful, yeah. And I think people got that.
Yeah.
As obviously it's one down in Dunleary with us. I'm just curious. Internationally, has it screened anywhere outside of Ireland?
Yeah, it's screened in Bilbao.
Wow.
It's going to it's going to Birmingham Film Festival, where it's up for Best Feature Film and Best Original Score. It's going to Oxford Film Festival as well.
We
Ooh,
screened in
maybe
the Czech Republic.
I think you have to cut that because I don't know if actually I'm allowed to say that.
Well, I was gonna finish that. It was a private screening.
Yeah, private
But
screening. Yeah,
private screening. We're allowed private screenings, but it was
We-
I screened it to my cinematography teacher from FAMU, in the Czech Republic.
Oh yes,
and
yeah.
it was the most stressful kind of moment of my career. And the next day he posted about it, and that he was proud of me and that I achieved something special. So I was okay, very happy. It was nerve-wracking to show it to your teachers.
Yeah. I was talking to some of our panel guys who are in the UK, and one of our guys is based in Manchester, and he's huge on the festival circuit in the UK, and he was telling me there just recently that in the UK, a lot of the Irish films that have been screened, shorts and features in the UK, go down extremely well. The audience seem to like the Irish films that are coming through, and I think that's a testament to Irish filmmaking in general. The production values are brilliant. I mean, I can see it year after year. Indie filmmakers are going from strength to strength. A lot of that's down to technology as well. 16 years ago, people were going to film base in Dublin to edit. You'd have to hire a studio in there. Now people are doing it in their bedrooms. And just the technology that's available to them now at the moment is allowing them to make some super films. And I think some of the stuff that's going into the international scene at the moment, the festival circuit, indeed the UK scene, is doing really well. I love seeing laurels all over the posters that we've screened over the past couple of years. It's great.
Yeah. You've always been there at the forefront, though, Dave, with showing people's films. That's what I always say. Like, you've really helped this industry go from strength to strength. It's down to people like you, but mainly you, Dave. You've always sponsored and pushed Irish films, and we're very grateful to be with the underground cinema still and being seen under your wing. And you've done a really, really good job. I have to say that, though, since the very early days, you've always your energy and your love of film has always come through, and you've always picked lovely films. You've given people a chance to show their films that no one else will give them a chance to show their film. So you should be not recommended, you should be seen as that person, and thank you so much, Dave, for all of that you've done for us all as filmmakers and actors and producers and writers. You've put us up there on those pedestals and given us that opportunity. So really, thank you from the heart, Dave. You're brilliant. You're the best.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Look, we're all very passionate about what we do, the arts. To me, it's a pleasure, it's a joy. I love doing it. Just like you guys like make movies, I love screening movies. Underground was set up, 16 years ago because these films weren't getting the opportunity that they deserved. The chances are that, if you screened this film, made this film 16 years ago, within a couple of weeks, it could end up on a DVD in somebody's bedroom drawer, never to be seen again.
That's it. Yeah.
So it's really important we get to get these films out. And I love opportunities like this as well to chat online, to talk to everybody about the work, because there's so much work goes into making these films, because especially a feature film, because I can tell you, having done them myself, is it takes 3 years out of your life. 3 years, that's what happens. At least, when you do a feature film, and they deserve to be talked about, and that's why I love to do something like this.
Well, you validated so many films and so many filmmakers, Dave, over the years. So fair play to you as well. And it goes without saying like that. I know you love what you do, but still, you do put it out there and you help a lot of people, and that needs to be recognized as well, Dave. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Tony.
No, you're welcome.
Well, look, guys, I know I said to you at the start there'll be around 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, we did tell you
no way.
it might be a bit longer.
We be
but
double at least.
it's been an absolutely brilliant conversation. I can't wait till we broadcast this online. It's a real in-depth conversation about such a fantastic new indie feature film in Ireland. We thoroughly enjoyed it when we screened it back in September in Dollery. I can't wait to see how well it does. It's got a couple of years to go yet. There's no doubt about that. And I can't wait to see you guys soon in the flesh at our next event.
Thanks,
Likewise.
Dave.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much,
Dave.
David.
Okay, guys, take care.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.